Welcome into the ATB show. You can head to our page with all of the links, atbshow.com. And we made some changes. I put on the green. I literally have this for my SM7B. This is for St. Patrick's Day, if it's an actual school day, which I can't remember the last time it was. Was it over the weekend this past year? I can't remember. And then I thought this morning, because I leave the pink one on because it makes my eyes look so sparkly.
Of course.
Yeah. Sure. Whatever gets you through the night, Timmy. Whatever gets you through the night. It's not my eyes.
I have visions of that pink one in your eyes.
Yeah.
Every night. Yeah.
And I said, I can put this on. So I did. Perfect. I knew you guys are going to show up in force. Rubber shoes, I imagine, because you are in standard, as the church would say, you're wearing ordinary time Celtics gear, not playing. And what I love, first of all, congratulations to Whit Grossbeck. Haven't said that yet. I know I put the text in the thread last night as we were all chatting. His quote, which will live in infamy in the best of ways.
Yes.
We will get paid in happiness. We will get paid in parades. And I'm lagging a little bit, so I'm going to fix my thing because it's just acting weird right now. I'm back. It's the heat wave. It's the heat.
Hello.
I don't know.
The heat dome.
We're June 18th, just after 5. And I don't know about you. I was in another office and my watch went off about 5 times. Like there's a whole thing going on today with the 911 service from Maine and New Hampshire and Mass. They're all sort of freaking out. I don't know if they're resetting or not, but
off the grid.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of push notifications to my watch. My phone was on my desk. So that was happening.
They're back up and running now.
That reminds me of when we were in radio and you used to have to just get interrupted in the middle. With the emergency response tones.
I'd get so mad. I swear to God. I'm like, OD definitely drops this on purpose while I'm talking. Which if you thought to yourself, well, Timmy, you're always talking. No shit. It's
hard for him to squeeze it in between breaths. I mean, honestly.
So before we get to the whole WIC thing, I do want to say we want to thank our sponsors, AAA Work Trucks. Joe and Leslie tolerate our stupid all the time. There's no more Celtics games to go to, so Rubber Shoes can't go get steak tips. We are truly going back to the earlier reference, ordinary time. It's just baseball season now, boys. It's just
finally.
Is it really baseball season?
It's just the Red Sox now.
The Red Sox forgot about baseball season.
Yeah, as the great, clearly spry Bill Belichick would say, since he's dating a 24-year-old. We're on to the WNBA. At least 2/3 of the show is on to the WNBA. But yeah, we want to thank Joe and Leslie, AAA Work Trucks, Rubber Shoes. I'm giving you a heads up. I want you to deliver the slug now.
Brought to you by AAA Work Trucks, the one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet. AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
The Mel Torme of sports podcasting. Yeah.
Oh, speaking so, I had to do one of the hardest things in my life on Friday.
Cheer for the Bruins.
Wear a Lakers jersey?
I had to do a radio spot. Congratulating the green team for winning banner number 18 before game 3.
So I love this.
Before game 4.
I love this. I'm going to protect the innocent. No. I'm going to protect the innocent in this conversation. Somebody near and dear to me works for a marketing firm.
Yes.
I think you're connecting the dots.
Yes.
This individual has access to marketing at a school that's very near and dear to me. She has access to a couple of teams in a city in Massachusetts that share a building. And she unfortunately will see the concepts for anything and everything that are getting ordered in a timely fashion, sometimes before the event comes to fruition. So as you can imagine, she's punching up this order thinking, am I Beelzebub? Like, what is happening right now? You know, because in the past we have we've been privy to a phenomenal university down in the Stores, Connecticut area that does what everyone does. You have to order it in time for the party. I get that. And at the same time, you want to light yourself on fire. So I completely appreciate, Rubber Shoes, you having to say all that stuff out loud.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, because now you're watching the game. You're like, am I the reason we're losing? Am I the reason they're going on a 9-0 run? Is it my fault?
I did 5 different spots, and then I sent them to Leslie. Leslie went after, because I did them from home and sent them in, and then I went into work.
Yeah.
And she's like, that was horrible having to listen to those. I did not want to hear any of that.
More. Oh, she meant what you had to read. I thought she was meaning your voice.
Yeah, well,
okay, yeah.
No,
yeah,
she was like, she's like, I don't want to put the the cart before the horse.
Yeah, AAA Work Trucks wants to congratulate. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Is that what you were doing? Is that what you were doing?
Yes. Yep.
You're
what
the
would
voice
be the
of
worst
AAA
is-
Work Trucks. I love all of this.
It would be the worst if the radio station accidentally played that spot, because then you guys would really look like the assholes.
Before?
Yeah, then you turn
before
into
they
who's
won.
Who's the guy from the Cubs that made the catch out in left field?
I don't know.
There was the Cubs fan years ago that made the catch and
The guy
screwed them
from
up
the
and
Cubs?
derailed, ultimately derailed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I know who you're talking about.
Can't remember what his name was, but he had the headphones on. It was a whole thing. Anyway, back to the Celtics. This show is all about the Celtics. Earlier in the green room chat, pun intended, in the green room chat earlier, Rubber Shoes was like, maybe we could have Sherl on for Red Sox hour. If we ever do an hour of Red Sox, it'll be posthumous on my behalf. I will be in the grave at that point. And this is going to be all about the Celtics. That's all we're talking about tonight. So first and foremost, congratulations to Wick and the ownership group. And, the story of, and I know we've talked about this and it needs to be said again, the story of him sort of falling like Kramer from Seinfeld, ass backwards into this opportunity, because he had come to the Boston area for his son, who is sight impaired, and I'm saying that because I don't know that he's fully blind or whatever the case may be, but I suppose we can say at least legally blind, and so he's at Perkins School for the Blind, and and in their move here, obviously this group, and there's an opportunity, the Celtics and all this stuff, and he had one of the best recent quotes, and I think this is from a couple of years ago, that he said to his ownership group, and then it was made public, that we will get paid in happiness, we will get paid in parades.
Well, I think he said it when he was trying to round them up to convince them to buy the team.
Was it that long ago? I wasn't sure if it was more recent. Nonetheless, he said it. He stuck by it, and I think you could argue that the most underappreciated, also although the Red Sox are fighting for it right now, you could argue that maybe the most underappreciated fan base in Boston is the Bruins, because they could start charging on those game nights, $60 for a hot dog and $90 for a beer, and they'd still be there cheering on the product that has been, subpar for many years. It's in a great place now, but we have dear friends of ours from radio that are now Avalanche fans who left Bruins fandom because they they'll say the Jacobs ruined hockey in Boston and all that kind of stuff. Just to Wick and the crew, and that quote, loud and clear, it is a Dear John letter to Dear John Henry down there on the Fens. Like
100%.
You got to be paying attention. The excitement and the spoil. We are the spoiled brats of New England, because oh my God, we were in a 5-year parade drought. Like, get over yourself, first of all. And I reached out to Dugan last night. We were going back and forth, and I said to him right after the game was over, I'm like, who's MVP? Oh, he said, first of all, are you happy now? I said, no, I want back to back. Of course I'm not happy. Of course I'm not. And he said, who? And I said, who do you want for MVP? I think it should be Jalen. I'm glad he got that. We can talk about that in a second. But I thought, true to our form, getting back to you guys being in your ordinary time Celtics gear, as soon as the hats came out, and I was ready for it. I could have loved it, and I still would have been like, we're going to hate the hats. I love New Era. I'm a New Era guy. New Era does a great job with I think it's the 950 hat, Rubber Shoes. I love a flat brim, snapback. Yeah. I love that model of the New Eras are great. And my Celtics
3950 guy.
My Celtics hat is gray, green visor, just the logo. And that's always been my argument. And
39.30.
I threw right into the chat. I'm like, the hats are trash. And they're just trash. They find a way to make these championship hats horrible. Horrible.
They try too hard.
Why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this? We just won
Because
Banner
it's a
18,
show
and we're
about
going to bitch
nothing,
about
Jerry.
the hats.
That's why.
This is such a Boston thing to talk about. Oh, the hats suck. We just won, dude. Just freaking who cares?
That's
what
why
the
you
hats
live in
look like?
Connecticut.
Just
Yeah,
hang the banner. Hang the banner and put the rings on. Let's go.
So
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. So Rubber Shoe said he's heading off to Medell's. When are you going to get your gear? When is that trip taking place? How much money will you spend? What are you getting?
Dinner. Well,
oh my God,
definitely...
after dinner.
No, once I finish dinner. Yeah.
No, after dinner. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
I am definitely gonna, as long as sizes, because I'm sure they've had a rush today to people buying stuff, but I am looking to get a Jaylen Brown jersey because I've been holding off for years. Number 7's my favorite number, and it seemed like his whole career he was rumored to be traded every off season. So I always held out. I'm like, I'm not gonna buy one and then I'm get traded. He got the contract last year, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait. And now he's forever a Boston Celtics champion, so I can keep the jersey forever. So
even if he gets traded. Yep.
Even if he gets traded.
Yep. Well, because it's like Tyler was saying to me last night. He's like, now it's like you don't wear it if he gets traded somewhere, but you can always keep it for when he retires. You always have it. He was a champion. So I'm finally going to get that. And then I don't know. I love the shirts, and I'm definitely going to get a hat, even though they're not that good, because you saw the collection I have. So
even though they're not that good, it's Adam's favorite. No, but
sometimes so that's the locker room hats. Sometimes they'll have other hats that they sell.
They're going to have a ton of hats. Of course they are. And I know we've talked about this exhaustively. To me, it's like, when's the last time, and probably today, so I'll be wrong. I'm waiting for one of you to say, but today at lunch, just outside of Dave's Hot Chicken. Yeah, but when's the last time you ran into a Yankees fan in a World Series hat? They're just in a Yankees hat. Because it says everything it needs to say. And we have 18 of them now. Nobody else has as many as us. And here's my Nostradamus. I know you've been waiting for it. Everybody's been waiting. Write it down. Sharpen your crayon. It'll be on the quiz later. The Celtics get to 20 before the Lakers get to 18.
Wow. That is saying something. Woo.
I love it.
Yeah, that is.
I love you diving into the deep end like that. That's amazing. Everybody, this is like sports media in general, is that, okay, they won. Now, are they going to win back to back? All right. Okay. Let's freaking pump the brakes for a second and let's enjoy this one. But I will say this.
Can't do it. Hats are terrible and I want one more.
I know. I got you. But you want two more. Before the Lakers get.
Oh, 1,000%. One at a time, though. I'm patient.
But I think, okay, one at a time. Oh, good. But we can't really win two, right? But I mean, listen, is that a Nostradamus? It's not really, because look at the Lakers. The Lakers are, they have LeBron, but they have like nobody else. And unless they go on a spending spree, and they're going to have JJ Redick, who I like JJ Redick, but he's not a seasoned coach. And I think my inclination when these guys just retire and then they become coaches quickly is that they're too friendly with the guys in the locker room. And they aren't able to hold them accountable.
It's LeBron's team anyway. He's just going to be a yes man for LeBron.
Well, exactly. And the point is that our team is obviously far and away stacked better than the Lakers are to have any run at any more championships within the next 5 years. Now, with that being said, Porzingis is getting surgery in the offseason. So, that is a, thing to watch. Obviously, we have to extend Derek White. I'm sure they will do that. I don't think there's any question that they will extend Derek White. Mm-hmm. Some of the role players, guy like Sam Hauser, he's locked up, but you never know. You never know what can happen. So, unfortunately in the NBA these days, the windows are pretty small. I mean, I think if you talk to people at the end of the Nuggets championship last year, you would have thought those guys were going to run off 3 or 4 in a row. And they lost a couple of role guys to bigger contracts. And so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the thing is, if we keep our core 5, and they've already said, I heard today that Al is coming back next year.
I was going to ask you guys, do you think he's rolling back?
Yeah, Wick said that. Yeah,
love it.
So he's coming back. So, and to be honest with you, Porzingis got a lot of the shine, but while Porzingis was out, Horford was, I would say, way more than serviceable in his role. I mean, he was the guy that kept us afloat. If we didn't have Horford, you're not rolling out Luke Cornett. I love him, but you're not rolling him out to play 35 minutes a game in the Eastern Conference Finals, whether it's against Indiana or Milwaukee. You're just not doing it.
Are you sure?
So, I mean,
so
we might have to, but
I love that Uncle Al's coming back, and I'm so happy for him. They couldn't wait to zoom in on Tito when all of that was happening. Do we think, because now they're talking about it more, first of all, crow to eat. Congratulations to Joe Mazzulla.
Yes, thank you.
Right? I'll
Best
say it
coach in
first.
Celtic history.
I was way wrong.
Whoa,
I don't know about easy Bill Fitch, easy Casey Jones. Yeah. You might want to walk that back a little bit.
I definitely well, the thing is, so the thing that bothered me so much about him coming into this year is that last year he was very stubborn and stuck with his ways, and I think it cost them in the end last year. He definitely learned, and he coached better this year. He whether it was Sam Cassell telling him stuff, but he definitely learned and changed his ways and wasn't hard-headed. I'm doing it my way. He listened and he adapted, and I give him all the credit. And I hear his interviews with Beetle and Zoe every week. He's great with them.
Yes, he's very good on that show. I like him on that show a lot.
The stuff he was doing with Mike Gorman before the games during the playoffs, great.
Super good. He was great last night. I love that Gorman had a Tommy shirt on. That was magical.
Oh, it was magical.
I love that he's going to be on the duck boat. Phenomenal. Do we have? And I know we're going all over the place. Welcome to the show. Do we have clarity on parade day? Is it Friday?
Friday.
Yep. Friday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that rumor apparently hit last night. I forget who. One of the beat reporters said the rumblings are that it's Friday because they're waiting for the heat dome to go away to Rubbish's earlier weather report. And the other cool story that I'm sure you guys saw during the Miami series, Spoelstra put on the whiteboard in their locker room, Miami flight tomorrow at noon. So the Celtics, and I don't know if you guys have more validity, I've sort of been locked up at meetings. The Celtics, somebody put on their whiteboard last night after the game, Miami flight tomorrow at noon. The rumor is the Bill O'Brien trophy and some of the Celtics, if not a bunch of the Celtics, are going to Miami tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's 100% true. That's 100% true.
They're going, and I think a lot of the impetus of this is that Tatum's going to watch his boy Kachuk maybe win Lord Stanley.
Oh.
So the two trophies are going to be up in the club tonight. If the Panthers get the work done, that Miami's going to be an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, it's going to be a shit show.
And I'm just saying, because he's probably down there milling about. If I'm Bryson DeChambeau, I'm bringing my trophy. That would be total eclipse of the sun. I mean, like that, the world ends at that point, which is probably happening because the Russians are in Cuba, 66 miles away. So enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourselves.
All right. The 1960s all of a sudden again. All right.
Yeah, why not? Another Cuban Missile Crisis. Why not? Throw it on the menu.
Yeah.
It's on my bingo card.
Yeah, Wick said tonight, or Wick said in his interview today on the radio, I forget what show it was on, but he said they might have to do, depending on how the party goes, they might have to do a flyover to the parade. I mean, obviously he was kidding, but I think they're going to have a few days where they just lose their freaking minds, which they're totally, deserve it. And, you always forget, it's funny. I find myself not to sound like old man shaking a cane at the sky, But I find myself thinking like,
I'll let you borrow my
boy,
cane.
I really care a lot about these 26-year-olds playing basketball. I really care a lot about it, and I'm not sure I should. But it is what it is, and they're going to go down there and have fun, and I'm going to be living my life, and I hope they enjoy it, and that's what I would have done if I was 26 and won a world championship. So
As they should. I guess what I love the most about this is they wrote it on the board as a press clipping to be pissed about, and they're following up on it. Like we are taking it. They got. I don't know if they got a 12 noon. I don't know if they got a 12 noon flight. I don't think they need to worry about a 12 noon flight. They have a charter. Right. Thank you, Caitlin Clark. Anyway, so in the grand scheme, you're welcome, Rubber Shoes. That was for you. Green with envy. You're welcome, Rubber Shoes.
Well, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Let's be honest about it. I mean,
yes, we're watching because of both of them. It's because of both of them.
Be honest.
So
the attendants say otherwise.
And I love, yeah, correct. What I also love about this is that they're not just doing the cadence of a couple days later. And I know it's heat related. I think it's responsible. I'm not going to say that, because actually Thursday has now turned into the crispiest of the next 3 days.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be outrageous. Thursday's supposed to be the crispiest, apparently. Friday's still going to be hot, but it's going to be back to reasonable, I suppose. And it's such a great move because that's a great day that people are just like, oh, I think I don't feel good on Friday. Or they're just going to tell their boss, you know what? My family Celtic fans, I'm taking some PTO. I'm taking my kids into Boston or I'm going into Boston. It's going to be bedlam on a Friday.
Yes. Well, I don't understand. Why do they do it on a Friday though? Like, why wouldn't you do it if you're going to push it to Friday? Why don't you just push it to Saturday? I don't understand. Then where they probably want that, it's probably a little bit of crowd control. The reason they do it on Friday, even though, like you said, a lot of people are just going to blow off work on Friday. But I just don't understand. I
think it's all strategery, and I think you get people in there on a Friday. They get upside down. You know what they're doing? Like, listen, Bonnie, Marty, Jimmy, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, right? Like they're going to go in. Listen, here's what we're doing. We're going in. We're going to get sideways. We're getting rooms at the Encore, right? Like, yeah. They're getting all dialed up. Like it is monetarily genius for the city of Boston to get people to come in on a day they'll have to take. I mean, some Ricky Ticky Tabby in Chelsea is quitting his job to go to the parade. Let's be honest. He's already out of PTO because he's had a lot of rough Mondays, right? Yeah. There's some Ricky Ticky Tabby's quitting his job to go to this parade.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. And then he's just going to sleep in the street. But most people are like, yeah, I'm taking Friday off. I'm going to get sideways with my boys. And we're getting rooms at the Encore must be jazammed right now. Done. All the hotels
Tim's
are
not going
toast.
because Kaylee said your Friday off is denied.
Oh, I love that.
You don't like the Austin heat. You don't get Friday off.
Oh my God.
Have you already been to Austin? When do you go to Austin?
I love that my comments from private corporate meetings are leaking into the podcast.
Oh, you're such a
Kaylee's throwing up a little bit in the back of her neck because she's like, nothing about you is corporate.
Or private for that matter, really. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the weather is saying it's supposed to be thunderstorms Friday morning, so that should be interesting.
It's going to be good.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Listen, this team, the funny thing about this team, the last parade for us was a Patriots parade, right? The funny thing about this team is they're so, and maybe this will be different now that they can let their hair down and they've done it and the weight is off their shoulder and stuff, but they're so like even keel and mellow. It's like I can't envision a moment where somebody throws a can of Bud Light at Jason Tatum and he just pounds it like Gronk would. It's not that it'll be a weird vibe, I think, to even the Celtics 08 team. I mean, if you look at KG was a maniac. They don't have that guy on this team. They don't have a guy who's just going to go bananas. I mean, maybe they do, but even you watched Jaylen Brown last night. He won MVP, and he's talking like, yeah, we stuck to the plan, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, get excited.
All right, so who's on the leaderboard? Who's topless on the duck boat? I got a leader in the clubhouse already.
Oh, you do? Okay.
4,000%. No, Pritchard.
Oh, Pritchard, yeah.
Pritchard's going to be nude on the duck boats. As he should be. He got so much. He got his flowers last night. I love Jalen. And Jalen dropped the F-bomb in the presser. And he's just like, comes in. And, he said it respectfully. It almost sounded backhand at first. He comes in, doesn't get much playing time. And he's just dropping buzzer beaters at every other playoff halftime. Yeah. He's just throwing up double Caitlin Clark's. Yeah. And he did.
I love that people were like bitching that it was a travel. I'm like, really? You're going to call that travel? Have we seen the NBA? I mean, yeah, maybe he shuffled his feet, but the dude just knocked down a 60-footer. Like, can we give him a break?
Well, that makes me want to, remember when you were in school and it was a substitute teacher and they would roll in the cot with the TV and the VCR and you knew they were going to kill the class with a movie? Yeah. I want to roll in the microfiche machine so we can watch anything LeBron does.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's a new play. It's called the Euro two-step.
Right. My favorite videos, I'm sure you guys have seen these online. My favorite videos are like, it's just some random guy acting out the NBA and it'll be like NBA players, no travel. And he'll just like do these crazy plays. And you're like, there's no way somebody did that in the NBA and they didn't call it.
And then he shows the tape.
And then he shows the clip. It's the best. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I love those things. I want to watch those all day. Oh
yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's good.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think Pritchard is, he'll be topless. Pritchard's going to be your maniac. Pritchard's going to be telling him to be throwing him like the Natty Daddies, which if you've seen a Natty Daddy, it's bigger than Pritchard. So, yeah,
I think Nemus Cade is going to be the guy.
No,
Nemi.
All right.
Either him or Cornette. Although Cornette's a dad, so maybe Cornette won't. But, I mean, I think Pritchard's a good guess. But
it's always you don't expect, because when Brady wins with the Buccaneers and he's upside down on organic avocado tequila, and he throws the Super Bowl trophy.
Right. But the thing is, like, that's such a Brady thing to do, right? Because if you or I did that, that thing would have been at the bottom of the harbor. But he throws it, and sure enough, he gets it just far enough across the boats so it doesn't go in the water. If you and I threw it,
he threw it to Gronk. Didn't he throw it to Gronk?
Yeah, threw it to Gronk. Right.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I mean, I don't think anybody's throwing the Larry O'Brien trophy. I got to be honest. It's probably
so. Here's me being grumpy. Welcome back. Well, a couple things. They couldn't wait, and in his defense, they couldn't wait to zoom in on as soon as they made the announcement that Jalen won. The camera pans over to JT, and he took it in stride, and he's clapping and all this stuff. He's not human if he's not disappointed.
Sure,
because he showed up. I don't think he showed out in this series, but he showed up-ish, right?
Last night he did. But the rest of the series,
not so much. And he stated that constantly. I think was it after game 1 or game 2, and he's like, I gotta shoot better. Golly, like he was like Opie from Mayberry RFD, right? So, and then.
I'm sure he knows who that is too. By the way, I'm sure he knows. You know what?
Ask your grandparents. Nobody knows who that is. Rubber Shoes is looking it up. Yeah, I guess the thing that he said that stuck out to me, and probably because I was looking for it, he's on the dais talking, and he's got the Larry O'Brien next to him, and somebody asked about the MVP, and it was just word choice for me. He said something. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the extent of nobody cares who wins that, or we don't care who wins that. Driving it back to, because they were all to a man saying we did it together, we did it as a team. Yeah. Which came across a little too saccharine for me at 11:55. I'm like, all right, somebody can say that I did a great job. Not that anybody's gonna do that, but the whole we did it together, we did it as a team. Like, yeah, it's a team sport. Like, I get that, but it was almost like that was baked in.
Seriously, you look at this whole run. There wasn't one guy in any series that just dominated. Right. It was someone did something one half, someone did something another half. It was a total team effort between the top 6,
and they were at their best when they got away from ISO, and they just when the ball was moving. I
understand why they keep going back to it.
Yeah, but they were at their best when they got away from it. When the ball was moving around the key, they were absolutely on their best. Yep, it was awesome.
Yep. So here's my take on the MVP thing, if I can, for just a second.
1,000%. So I was just annoyed he said that. That's all.
Yeah, I get,
because he wouldn't have said that if he won it. If he was sitting there with the Larry O'Brien and the MVP, he wouldn't have said that. He wouldn't have worded it that way.
I will also say Jaylen Brown handled himself very well, comported himself very well. But here's my thinking on the Tatum Brown thing with the MVP. I think they both believe in their hearts that they will be back there multiple times again. Like I think they are in line to be Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, like those people who have 3-4 rings, right? So I think they're like, okay, boom, we got the monkey off of our back this time. I don't care who won the MVP. Next time I'm going to come out and we're going to get this done again. Either I'll get it, Jalen gets it, but we're going to almost take turns.
Dana Barros
that's how I think they look at it personally.
Yep.
And to me, as a Celtic fan, I'm like, great, let's do that. Let's keep going. I mean, I just think that they have such a, and I know the windows in the NBA are short sometimes, and things can happen, but I just think
the last 6 are one and done.
Right. But I just think with these two, like, knock on wood, there's not the history there is that they're durable, they play hard, and they play all the time. That's not been the history with the most recent champions. I mean, if you look at the Nuggets, Jamal Murray was always hurt, and he was hurt again in these playoffs. Even Luka, I mean, everybody will say, well, he's 24, he's going to get back here, no problem. Are we sure of that? Because to be honest with you, I think Luka, while he's a terrific player, don't get me wrong, but even his 27 last night was like, like you didn't really, it's the 5th game of the NBA Finals. You did nothing. So I don't know. I wasn't that impressed by Luka, but we'll see. We'll see how they do. I'm happy we got 18.
With back to Missoula. I love that he apparently tore his meniscus in March.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He's going in for surgery. Above and beyond that, and we've talked about this. I've always adored him. I love that he leads with his faith. I love that the T-shirt last night was amazing. First of all, I want to thank God.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And the other concern is like they're quietly like, yeah, this surgery. It's not that it's going to be complex. The recovery, they're talking about 3 months, but they said what he did, what Porzingis did, is rare. So
yeah,
do we ever get Porzingis the way he was before this knee injury, or is this going to be this nagging thing that makes him a different version of him moving forward? And do we have to, behind Uncle Al, look for the next person who's going to be the big man?
It was his ankle, not his knee.
Oh, sorry.
His knee kept him out of the early part of the playoffs.
Right, that was the first injury. It was the ankle thing.
Tendon in his ankle.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I think the way I heard it described was repairable and repairable back to 100%. I mean, I don't know how much of that is, rose-colored glasses, and he hasn't gone under the knife yet, and we'll see. And sometimes people bounce back, and sometimes people don't. I don't think, as Celtics fans, we will ever, while he's here, get away from that fear every time he jumps up to block a shot or rebound the ball. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but every time I watched him and he did some crazy athletic thing, I'm like, he landed fine. Okay. And then, obviously in the playoffs that he didn't land fine, although he wasn't doing anything too crazy when he hurt himself.
Well, I've struggled watching any Celtic jump a millimeter since Gordon got hurt. Like that like I think we're all scarred for life.
Yeah.
Like
that was crazy.
Constantly, even watching the NFL or college football. Anytime a running back with wiry legs is getting tackled, like it used to always drive me crazy. The kid from San Fran who hasn't been their quarterback in ages, who has been like exiled from the league. Help me.
Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, Kaepernick. His legs were always so wiry. Every time he got tackled below the waist, I would freak out. Yeah, same thing. Who would be the big guy we could go after? And what I'm asking now for a friend, like who's on the shopping list for the offseason? What are the changes that are coming?
I don't think there's any.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you need it. I mean, here's the thing, right? You've got realistically in the pipeline, you have 4 big men, right? You have Porzingis. Nobody's going to be as good as Porzingis, right?
Right.
So, okay.
Right.
Fine. But then you have Horford. He's older, but he still looks
he wants to run it back.
Good.
I love it. Yep.
Look really, really good. Yep. And then you have Cornette, who, by the way, I don't know if you ever get a chance to look up some of the stuff that he was doing with the Maine Celtics when he was with the Maine Celtics. Now, granted, that's the G League and not the NBA, but the dude can shoot. The dude can actually like move without the ball and, be very athletic at times.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying he's the answer if Porzingis goes down, but he's definitely a good third option for sure. And then you have Neemias Queta, who
This iced tea's from 715, by the way. Just wanted to gross you out. Keep going. It's
and you're
so
still
gross. I'm
down, I
grossed
like it.
out, but here we are.
But Queta potentially has a lot of potential. I mean, if you watch him play, now he only played in the regular season. I know he didn't play in the playoffs, but if you watch him play, the thing that's holding him back right now is his defense, and defense is pretty much fixable, right? I mean, you just drill into the guy. This is I'm sure he's better at defense now than he was at the start of the season. He'll be better at defense at training camp and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Dude is athletic as hell. And he's sturdier too. Like if you look at him, he doesn't have those wiry legs that you were talking about. He looks really sturdy. So I like where we're at with big men. And I agree with Rubber Shoes. I don't think we need to go do anything. I mean, honestly, it's a rare position to be in.
That's super good news.
Plus, in order to add, you have to subtract. So who are they getting rid of to make room for someone
No,
else?
I get that. And the next big contract is Jason, right?
Tatum. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Tatum's a guarantee that they're going to sign him, and then
I mean now,
Derek White.
Yeah, Tatum and White are the only two that they have to worry about right now.
Right.
I thought I'd get more reaction from you guys, but I didn't. I turned to Janina. I said Paul Pierce was the truth and Derek White's the tooth, and nobody liked it.
I didn't see you say that. When did you say that?
I
missed that.
I think
Portnoy has
Rubber Shoes is
T-shirts
taking
out
over
already
executive
for
producer with a thread,
Derek
and
White.
he's deleting my thoughts, my deep thoughts. What did you say, Rubber Shoes?
Barstool has a shirt out already with Derek White in his teeth.
I love it.
Did you see what Jaylen Brown said to him? Jaylen Brown was mic'd up last night, and he's like, "Yo, you ugly."
Yeah,
Like,
I'd say
as
on
soon as he
the
walked
bench.
over.
Yeah, I caught that.
That
Yeah,
was so funny.
Tell you though, the Barstool has some pretty good. They had the championship shirts made by Friday, so Portnoy was wearing one at the game Friday night.
Oh my God.
I want to
There's
tell you guys
one-
something, and I need. It's like a little confessional. I've been watching a little bit more of him, and I'm kind of coming to the dark side. To be honest with you, I'm not a Barstool guy.
Kind of a good guy.
Yeah, he is, and the pizza reviews kind of like, all right, but I don't know. I've watched some of his content, and he's funny and he's a little obnoxious, but who
He's
among
a
us
homer
isn't
like us.
obnoxious? Yeah, he's a homer. So
Yeah,
and
I
to
can
your
I can
point-
hold. I can hold. Hang on.
Oh, are you calling Barstool?
Yeah, hi Dave. We got him.
Yeah.
I'll call you later. Bye.
So they have one shirt that looks like this on the front. It just says Boston on the front, but the back is 18 banners.
Yes, that's the one I want. That's the one I want. I saw that.
I
love that.
had, and I think Francis, I move for my upcoming book, How to Stay Married.
Yeah. So when
yeah,
did he meet
so-
Jaylen Brown?
So I move hats. I have to move hats to other short people in my house. So I have, and I don't know what brand it was, but I had this. I know Rubber Shoes, and you probably saw this back in radio days, Adam, for sure. I had the Celtics hat, more of a dad hat style, and it had all the banners in the back.
Oh yeah, I had
Yeah.
one of those too. Actually, yeah, I saw that.
I had that.
Yeah.
What are you asking, Rubber Shoes?
When did Cameron meet Jaylen Brown?
I'm going to get this wrong, but I'm going to guess based on height. That was obviously a handful of years ago. There's a lot of irony to that picture. So you saw Janina in the caption talked about the fact that there was a pop-up shop in, I'm going to get this
I
wrong.
remember when he went to do this,
And I'm going to get excoriated for getting this wrong. There was a pop-up shop in Roslindale. I guarantee I'm wrong. She's probably going to text me right now and be like, "That yeah, you're wrong." They did a pop-up shop with this juice brand. She was going to bring both boys. Aiden stayed back because he had homework, and they told Jaylen that, and Jaylen just gave them a hat to bring home to him because he was so proud of him for doing his homework. Not knowing at the time, nobody knew at that time that Jaylen is like a scholar, right?
Right.
He's a complete dork, right? Like he's super razor sharp. So
Yep.
he loved that, gave Janina a hat to bring home. Francis in the picture, this is the irony, because you're watching it, like talk about worlds colliding. Francis in the picture is wearing my Celtics hat that I love because it doesn't have anything else on it except for the logo, which is all you need because it tells the story.
Because we're the Celtics. Yep.
He has a headband over it because of autism. And then he's in his full uniform, just in case they need a short leprechaun to play center, right? In case Porzingis doesn't make it back from the surgery.
I love it.
He's hugging Jalen. But what you have to realize is look at the shirt. He's wearing a Kyrie Irving shirt. This is after this. Yeah. Yep. This is after Kyrie stepped away. So what you can't see on the back is he put electrical tape over the back, so the name's blanked out.
Oh my God, that's
yeah.
magical.
Yep.
That is magical.
So that was a handful of years ago. I couldn't tell you. That's got to be now. I mean, that's got to be whenever the year after Kyrie left. Do the math.
Yeah, so 2020, 19 or 20. Can I just make an unpopular? I'm going to say an unpopular opinion now.
That's why we're here.
The Kyrie sucks chance. Can we be done with it now?
We've
beaten the guy 13 times in a row. Like
so,
or whatever. We're undefeated at home against him. Like the dude falls into the scorers. No, not into the scorers table, but into the announcers table.
I'm glad you're bringing this up. Yep.
Racing for a loose ball. He finally gets up. It took him a while to get up and get out of that.
Yep.
And we're chanting Kyrie sucks. We're up 20 points. What are we doing?
Well,
like,
I'll take.
I get
I'm
it. I like the antagonistic.
I'm going to take you a level deeper on that. Yeah, I agree with you. But the Yankees sucks chants come up during the second preseason game of the Patriots game when we're playing Cincinnati. So there's no rhyme or reason, and I know you know that because the Ricky Ticky Tabby that's going to quit his job to go to the parade on Friday is there with his friends, right? So there's never going to be any logic behind that, and I don't care what they're doing as long as the Garden's loud. The Celtics fans were phenomenal last night. Like the crowd was super loud, as it should be. I love when a game starts, even a regular season game, which is going to be like this. Game one next year, whatever the first game is at the Garden, is going to be as soon as the tip. If the Brooklyn, if Brooklyn gets the ball first, it's going to start defense, clap, and it's going to be awesome. All that aside, from the guy from ESPN, Mike Breen, yes. When he was getting up, something was said that was clearly off color. Because Mike Breen said, he goes, well, that is something about being disgraceful or whatever. Now, here's the thing, and he doesn't know in the moment. So defending ESPN and himself and his own moral fortitude, which I appreciate, he said something. And I just thought to myself, nobody at home heard that. You could have let that lie. So as a Bostonian or as a New Englander, I was annoyed because okay, just in case anybody doesn't know that somebody said something off color, we don't know that it was necessarily racist. You wanted to make sure the whole world knows that somebody said something. Now, in defense of Mike Breen and him as a man, he doesn't know that wasn't picked up by the mics.
Sure.
So he made a comment to defend the fact that I'm here, I heard it, I'm going to say something was ridiculous and it shouldn't have been said. So I get all of that. But in the moment, I'm just like, oh my God. But you know what would have kept all of that from happening? Whoever that fucking Barney was.
Yep.
That, let's go worst case scenario, probably dropped an N-bomb because he's on his 15th natty daddy. And how he's sitting how somebody with that lack of decorum is sitting that close to the court makes me want to jump out of a first floor window as a New 100%. Englander and a Boston 100%. Fan. Can we not get past, it's 1958, guys. We're using the same bubble as now. What are we doing? And I'll remind you, Ricky Ticky Tabby, you spent last month's and this month's rent to sit this close to be a racist. What are we doing?
Right. Save your money and be a racist at home, for God's sake.
Yeah. Yep. Holy
my God.
Moses. So Lord knows what they said. I'm sure we're going to find out because everyone in there and their cat has a cell phone. It's going to surface, and we do it to ourselves. And, you can't scan and be like, only clear bags. We got to check you. You got to pat you down. And then we're going to ask everybody, are you a moron? Are you going to do something to ruin it for the other 20,000 souls in here?
Right.
And whether this comes across as I'm making this all about me, or you think it was dignified, I'm going to lean on the side of I'll give Kyrie credit. I love before he left the floor, he went and said his goodbyes.
Yep, 100%.
And he let
totally
the Celtics
agree.
have their moment when the confetti fell, and then he waited as a team leader for his team to clear the floor.
That's right.
So, however you feel about him, like, he was a gentleman last night.
Yep.
And
honestly, the way he
missed
played,
most
he
of
didn't
his
have to
threes,
be.
and he was a gentleman last night. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah, he
love
was
that
terrible.
version of Kyrie.
Yeah, he can come back anytime.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree with you. I think we need to put it under, water under the bridge and just move on. Like, we've exercised that demon. It was pretty perfect that he was one of our villains to go up against in the finals, that we finally made it happen. And
Yep.
all right, we said our piece. Now, next time he comes to town, I don't mind if you don't say anything or don't cheer. Just we don't need the Kyrie sucks stuff.
No,
I mean,
what you need to do is what the Red Sox did to Mariano.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And
yes,
and when he gets introduced at the first game next year, you cheer at the top of your lungs.
Yes.
Thank
right.
you.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Right? Yeah, you thank
was
him
amazing.
for it.
I was
So-
at that game, actually. Yeah.
Oh, were you? That's awesome.
Yep. Totally agree. Totally
That's
agree.
awesome. So, do you think they go back to back?
I think,
are we going to make
listen,
those
there's-
predictions?
Absolutely
Oh.
not.
Oh.
Oh, we're
What,
making predictions?
what makes you say that,
Rubbish.
Rubbish Shoes? Just because
This is what I said in the stupid chat. This is the only... Go ahead.
Because Tatum's playing in the Olympics. He's gonna be dog tired next year, and I just don't think they. I think that's what happens to these teams is because they play so far into the summer, they don't get a break, they don't get the rest. That's why it's so hard to run it back to next year. It has nothing to do with players themselves. It's just you can't play 100% all year long. He's gonna have like a month off and then right back to training camp. So I think for that reason, I think it's going to be very hard for them to win it again next year.
Well, Rubbish Shoes, I will say that I appreciate your reasoned argument instead of just being like, Tatum sucks. They're not going to make it again. Because, that's what I assumed
I don't know if
you were
you
going to say.
read the text that I have. I own two
Yes,
Tatum jerseys.
I generally do. I generally do read your texts, and they're usually
I
halfway
do not
They're in-
hate
they're-
Tatum.
he has two Tatum
Halfway through the
jerseys. They're
game-
right behind
halfway
his
through the
Lambeer
game-
jerseys.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And your texts come through, and it's like, oh, is he going to do one more step back? What are we doing? Can he attack the basket? Like, Rubbish
just
Shoes,
talked
did you put up
about doing
31
the
and
ISO
11?
shit, didn't
Give him
we?
a break.
Didn't we
Give
just
him a break.
didn't
We
we
did
talk about the ISO
We just
stuff
complained about
being-
the ISO. Yes, we did.
I did not complain about the ISOs. You guys did. I'm just saying. I didn't.
Here's the
complain
thing,
about it.
because I last night I wasn't going to be satisfied with whatever happened, right? Quite honestly, and I didn't get a ton of sleep, and I wasn't up running around throwing confetti. I was just watching a lot of the post game stuff. And I love that we get to do that. Let's remind ourselves that we're talking about the 5-year drought. And just
I know, it's so embarrassing.
You watch any news network in Boston right now, and they're showing everything that's happened since 2000. It's just an embarrassment of riches. So I'm going to start with me, right? Man in the mirror, Michael Jackson. Like, shut up. But here I go. I'm just going to say it anyway.
Go ahead.
Like,
Yep.
my initial, challenge with everything that the Celtics are about to do is is there going to be a target on their back? Sure, but there was a target on their back already. I think they still put together a great year. I think it's going to be about injuries. It's going to be, is Porzingis going to be his best version? I think assuming that we have a myriad of other tall people behind Porzingis is going to make it okay. I think Porzingis, and I appreciate him doing whatever he could do to get out on the court last night because he wanted to be part of it. And you could have people say, well, yeah, but he missed a whole bunch of games during the run. Everything he did during the regular season, during the ordinary time, got us to where we got to. And the
100%.
only stat that annoys me the most is that we finished 79-21. 80-20 would have been so sexy.
No, we
Would
were
have been
80 and 21. 80 and 21.
Oh, is it 80 and 20? Oh, yeah, you're right. I apologize. Yeah, 80 and 21.
But I hear you. 80-20 would have been amazing.
That would have
80
been
and 20
that would have been delicious. Yeah, I don't know.
Two texts from last night from me. Take it
Right.
all
Here
in
it is.
Tatum. Take it all in Tatum. I didn't say any other player on the team. And then I said, I
all
think
right.
Tatum takes the MVP.
He did vote for Tatum, and I said
All
it would
right,
be
well,
Jalen. So
Listen,
yeah.
my phone only has 128 gigabytes.
Oh,
I bet about
my God.
45 gigabytes of that is you bitching and complaining about Tatum on my text messages. I would guess if I had to go back to October through now, it's probably loaded
It's not
with your
that I hate him. It's
bitching.
that I expect more from him.
Did you just hold up the 2017 Google Pixel? Is that running Windows 95? What are we doing down there?
This is
What
a
are we-
Google Pixel. Yeah, it's a Google Pixel. What's wrong with that?
It is a Pixel. I'm not making fun of you. I'm not making fun of you. I'm not making fun of you. I'm not.
Fucking
I
hater.
promise you.
But he
I'm
is.
not.
Hater.
I'm not. I thought you had an Android.
Hater.
I just
Hater.
it's now. Yeah, I mean,
Adam's
it's running,
the only
it's
reason
running
why
Android,
my
I get
texts
that,
don't
but
show up on my iPad.
I thought
Yeah,
you had a
group chat.
Samsung to
Listen.
be more clear.
my sixth grade daughters, going into seventh grade daughters, got bullied for not having an iPhone, and now they have iPhones. I'm a 45-year-old man. I'm secure in my phone. Okay, I'm secure. I'm secure. I'm happy with
Your
it.
data's not, but okay. As long as
I'll give you that. That was
as
good.
long as one of you is happy. Jesus Christ.
Listen, are we going to go back to back? Okay, this is of course the inevitable conversation. Are we going to go back to back? Here's why I think there's a real serious possibility we go back to back. Okay. The Milwaukee Bucks are trash. Okay. I know any team with Giannis and Dame is going to be okay. They're not.
I
they're
didn't say
not
they
lighting the
couldn't
world
make it
on
to
fire
the
next year.
finals.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
let me
just said
just
they
let me
can't-
just
they
walk
can't
through this. All right.
Win it.
Embiid and Maxey are the only two guys on Philly. And who are they going to add? They're going to add Jimmy Butler.
They're
gonna
adding
add
Paul
they're gonna
George.
add
Didn't you see the
Paul George? Yeah, I know.
his eyes
Right.
the other night?
But what has Paul George done? Honestly, like half the time he's hurt. They're going to add another superstar who's always hurt next to Embiid. So listen, you could go through the entire Eastern Conference, and there's problems with every team except for one. And we ran away with the Eastern Conference this year. Now everybody will bitch, oh, we didn't win anything. Listen, we only lost 2 games in the Eastern Conference playoffs. 2 games, and one of them. We forget the Miami Heat shot the best 3-point shooting that they've literally ever shot
Also,
in their entire franchise.
we beat Miami without Butler. We beat Cleveland missing Mitchell for 3 games.
Yeah.
We beat the Pacers without Halliburton for 2 games. They had an easy route this year.
And we beat them all without Porzingis. So what does that say? People forget that. We didn't have Porzingis. Okay, so they didn't have one of their stars.
We may not get the number 1 seed next year because we're not going to have Porzingis for half the season.
I think there's a really good possibility, even without Porzingis, we get the number 1 seed. And I will say this: we beat Luka and Kyrie when everybody thought, a lot of the national media was saying that, oh, Luka's the best player in the series. Kyrie's unstoppable, best closing duo ever in the entire NBA. I mean, we heard all of those things at the start of the series, and what did they do? They just got blown out 4 out of the 5 games.
Austin.
Well, don't forget a different version of me a couple of weeks ago said that Kyrie would beat us in 7.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
I have the receipts. Yeah.
Of course you do. Do you have enough storage room on your phone for that, or do you print
I have
those?
plenty of storage room.
You
Yeah.
print those offline on your Daisy wheel? Is it over your shoulder?
Yeah.
Where is it? Yeah.
No.
Geek, geek. It's like a rip and read.
Listen,
from Good Morning Vietnam.
I don't have to pay for iCloud storage. Okay, I get free storage, so I'm good. My phone does all the same things yours does.
How much free storage do you get?
I don't know. I get like a couple 100 gigs. I'm not sure.
Okay.
What do you get? None. 5 gigs?
I got a ton.
Let's compare cell phone bills.
We're not going to do. Oh yeah. Do you want to do? You don't want to do that. I'm out of my 6 leases right now. Hi everybody at home. Yeah. So yeah, we're at a delicious price point right now that I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. For now. Before Aiden goes back to school and says, "Can I get the 16?" Of course you can, my dear. Yes.
Of course. You
gonna be
have
great.
to have it. You're in college.
Actually, that'll
course.
launch after he's left for school, so I'll duck that.
Oh,
bullet.
perfect.
I will duck the bullet of the 16 before he goes back to school.
And
God, help us.
Thanksgiving, he'll be asking for it.
since you guys talk WNBA, I'm talking about the Red Sox winning 4 out of their last 6. They've won 3 in a row. They beat
He's not wrong.
the
He's not
Phillies
wrong.
and the Yankees, the 2 best teams of baseball, in 2 series back to back.
They're heating up.
I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it.
And then the next thing Rubber Shoes is going to say is, well, if we just get this guy back, and if we get this guy back, and if we get this guy back, maybe we'll be able to sneak into the wild card.
Well, they're already like got all of Worcester playing right now. I don't know how they're winning, but
And there you go. And then people will say they didn't beat anybody to get to the World Series.
Dom Smith at first.
They're going nowhere near the World Series. Don't worry.
And Manuel
The
Valdez
Celtics
at
are going to the World
second.
Series before the Red Sox do.
David
Kidding
Hamilton
me.
at short.
Rubber Shoes, I appreciate you trying to sneak in the Red Sox before we finish. I will say this: the Connecticut Sun are a 12-1, and they're the best team in the WNBA. They went 9-0 to start the season, and they are just lighting
Look at
up
that.
the league.
Sneak in
So-
more WNBA. You already talked them WNBA.
We
So now
didn't
I
touch
get
the
to talk more
WNBA.
Red
We made
Sox.
one
we're
Caitlin
gonna
Clark
talk.
joke.
We got to talk
What are
more
you
Celtics
talking
next
about?
week. Don't forget, we got to talk more Celtics next week because Corey and Uncle Dukes, who are both in hair and makeup this week, are definitely
Yeah.
going to want to talk more Celtics. We'll probably
Too
have.
bad. It's on to training camp. Patriots training camp.
Uh,
missed the
Get
show.
outta here.
I feel like
Get
They
outta
missed
here.
the show. Sorry.
Rubber Shoes, you're so mean.
we have to talk about the parade and Pritchard being nude.
Yeah,
All
come
that's
on.
going to get discussed. If anybody gets
A
arrested in
natty
Miami
daddy,
tonight,
I guess. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is, but yeah.
All right. Do the
it's
show on
it's
Tuesday.
it's
then.
the tall boy Natty Light.
Oh, version of
It's
the
like a
natty.
16-ounce
Okay.
Natty Light that's called the Natty Daddy. I only know that
I
because
love it.
I saw
You
one
can
in
do
a
the
parking
show
lot
on
out here.
Tuesday night. I'll be at the fire station and I won't bother bringing my stuff in.
Oh my god!
Wow. Like you're on to the next thing already? We just won Banner 18. What is happening?
You know what it is?
We
It's
can't do 2
it's-
weeks on the Celtics?
It's 6:09. Mother Shoes has
I've been
a
doing
steaming
Celtics every
casserole
morning
of
for
shepherd's
the
pie
last
waiting for him. And then
6
he's gonna
weeks.
jump. Then he's gonna jump in the Rubber Shoes mobile and get down to Modell's so we can make sure he gets his size extra medium shirt. I want
Rubber
you.
Shoes,
You know what, dude? I want you to buy whatever size is still available, and if it's Dora the Explorer, put it on the goddamn calendar. Do it. Make it your job. I want a picture of you in a banana hammock with the Dora the Explorer T-shirt up to your
Oh,
xiphoid
nobody
process.
wants
Ask
that.
your biology teacher. And yeah,
Nobody wants
on the strawberry in the pool. Listen,
I was
it's
in the
not.
pool.
Listen, it's not for me. America wants it.
Nobody wants that.
Obviously.
Nobody
Obviously.
wants it.
Our 100 YouTube subscribers want to see that.
Steph's
Oh,
in the,
look, we just lost 3 subscribers. We're back under
Steph's in
100.
the chat. She's like, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants it. Listen,
Yeah, we
I
should
watched,
celebrate.
I watched,
We should celebrate that. We get to 100. It's wonderful. We got
we
there.
should. I watched the Rubber Shoes rant and wrap up this morning. The Celtics hung Banner 18, and Rubber Shoes spent about 10 seconds on the Celtics, and then was like, "The Red Sox got a starting
loves
lineup,
it.
starting
He
pitching for the Red
loves it.
Sox tonight."
He
Blah, 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 blah,
loves
blah,
it.
blah, blah.
He loves it.
I have a minute to squeeze everything in.
Okay.
You can
you
leave
could
the
do
Red
a full
Sox
minute
off.
on the
They play
Celtics yourself.
182 games.
I don't have to be the only
I'm
person
good.
that posts every morning.
Well, I don't think that's true. I think you do have to be the only person that posts. I
Well,
think you
if
do an
I'm the
excellent
only
job,
one,
Rubber
then you
Shoes. I'm
get
not
what
disparaging
I
you.
decide to post.
There you go. That's fair enough. Fair enough. You're the editor. Fair enough. That's true. You're the
Yeah, it's not the Adam
producer.
wrap-up and rant.
It's
not the Adam wrap-up
It's not
and
the
rant.
Adam wrap up and rant.
Yeah. It's in the title.
Yeah,
It's in the title.
that's true. That's true.
All right.
And nonetheless, we can talk Celtics
Hey,
next week.
I turned it green. My date was green this morning. Did you even notice that? No.
Well, honestly, Rubber Shoes, I was a little
he was
sleepy
busy
when I
waiting
watched
for the
it, but
WNBA update. Go ahead.
That's right. That's right. I was wondering who was getting charters today.
Whoa.
Is it the NWSL? Are they getting charters thanks to Caitlin? Are we doing anything else with the National Women's Professional Hockey League? Like, what are we doing? We need to get more charters.
We lost to
more
Minnesota.
often.
Terrible.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Kaylee's got my back.
Oh God, she doesn't have mine. She's in there reading the transcript
Tim
from all the
can't
meetings.
introduce himself in under a minute. Stick to it,
Kaylee,
Rubber Shoes.
if you
You're doing
think Rubber
great.
Shoes has, if you think Rubber Shoes should stick with it, you should come on the show and defend that position. That is a horrible position. Rubber Shoes did not spend more than 20 seconds on the Celtics winning banner 18 this morning. We need an editorial meeting for the Rubber Shoes rant and wrap up.
Truth be told, as Kaylee knows, and you guys know this, there's an event that takes place in our ecosystem here at the office at 8:30 every morning, and it's all me mostly, unless I have a guest. Due to the hindrance of a meeting that Nathan shoehorned in at 8:45, and the irony that I call it the morning quick start, it runs about 14 minutes and 59 seconds. I wax poetic. I could be reaching all 600 of our agents. We never get there. So
I do like that she said you couldn't introduce yourself in under a minute. That I do believe that's true. I think that's true. I think that's probably true.
So much judgment. So much judgment.
Rubber Shoes is watching himself back to see how much time he's going to tell me how much time he gave to the Celtics.
Oh my God! This is like that T-shirt with Jimmy Fallon has. Oh God!
Oh, senile moment.
No, it's Fallon, and he got a DUI today. How could I forget his name?
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Timberbeam. Yeah, and they all have each other on the coffee mug, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Oh, yeah.
We're watching Rubber Shoes watch himself.
I'm going to see him. Hopefully this doesn't keep him out of Boston.
He's out on bond, so he'll probably make the show. How many seconds did you dedicate to the Celtics, Rubber Shoes? I know you counted.
Well, it's
18 seconds.
I think the most was the opening. The opening was probably 20 seconds. And then the Celtics were. It only gives 40 seconds left, so it was probably 20 seconds.
Yeah, Celtics won. Nobody died. On to the Red Sox.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Kaylee said, I feel like there should have been a breaking news update after the confetti fell.
I mean, Kaylee's onto something. Rubber Shoes, why are you not up that hour?
I posted the picture and went to bed. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Jesus.
I was going to throw something on YouTube, but the segments are called shorts, and I'm incapable. So, yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
my God.
Yeah, we'll have Corey and Uncle Dukes back with us next week for Corey and Scotty and Adam and Rubber Shoes and myself. We appreciate you watching. We would love for you to subscribe and share and comment and like. And when Rubber Shoes leads with the Red Sox tomorrow, because that's all we have now. It's all we got. I got a random beat reporter named Aiden who just checked in to let us know that Hideki signed with Boston for the Tomorrow Golf League. You know that thing that's going to be inside the dome?
Oh,
that Rory and Tiger invented, and they canceled the season because the tent deflated. Like, what are we doing? And there's so much going on. We'll be back at it next week. I don't know what night we're doing next week. I think it's going to be Wednesday, but we'll get to that next week when it gets here.
That's why you have to smash the subscribe button so you get notified.
Always. I'm going to smash something. I'll tell you that much. See you, boys.
Bye.